So, sir, when we talk about business development, what are the myths that people are having right now regarding business development?
But at least from my experience, what I can tell you, Manav, business development many a times, at least what I have seen, people feel that it's transactional. If you give, you take. That's sales. Transactional, whatever it is, the transaction that happens, that is purely sales. And sales is just one aspect of business development.
So, जो आज के जो स्टार्टअप्स हैं जिनके बारे में हम देखते हैं, so do you think वो लोग बिजनेस जो अपना रिलेशनशिप्स है और ये सारी चीजों पे ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे रहे?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. I think today's startup will be youngster, like at least maybe young a lot who are doing businesses. They're very smart and they know all these aspects.
So why are we seeing a shift in students कि उनको foreign जाके पढ़े?
So first is purely with respect to quality. So almost if 100 students are going, 70 are looking for quality.
Today, we have a very special guest with us who has a lot of knowledge and skills in the field of tools that travels, edtech, business development, and entrepreneurship. Welcome to the Manav Show, Remi sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay. So, sir, you carry so much of experience. I know it. I've gone through your profile, but to the listeners who are listening today, I want them to know your journey. How did you start, and how did you enter the education field?
Alright, so my journey starts, I am basically from Nagpur, India, Central India. And my journey that starts from a very small BPO where I started working. And that is within the second year of my graduation, third year of my graduation, I started working. So I started, that was purely out of interest that I started. And from there, for 3 years, shifting here and there, in Nagpur itself, I did work for 3 companies. Within 1.5 years, I was the team lead. And after that, I joined a group, and they were from Nagpur, and they wanted me to set up a skill development center. And from there, what Narendra Modi ji brought in Skill India Mission in 2014, when we started doing it in 2008-9. So we started doing prior to this, and from there my journey started in education. Small scale programs, 6 months, 1 year programs, 3 months programs. From there we developed, and later it came on to where we had 100 employees, more than 1,000 students to 1,500 students, and then me personally comes guiding every student, me personally knowing every student. So from there, my journey has started. So it's almost like I've been in 12 years in education. After that, I was with a company, a tech company, which was a Google partner. So we did that. And then I entered tourism purely out of my interest of experience and experiencing culture and all that. And that interest has led to me completing my, I hope to submit my doctoral thesis now this year, and it has led me to Vishwakarma University in Pune, and there now I'm taking care of the industry relations for the university. So that has been my journey, 15 years, almost 6 different companies, and this is my 7th organization, and I hope so I'll work for a longer time.
So, sir, when we talk about business development, what are the myths that people are having right now regarding business development?
Okay, business development. All right. So firstly, just to clarify here, from last 4 years, I've been teaching, not practicing business development. So, what at least from my experience, what I can tell you, Manav, business development many a times, at least what I have seen, people feel that it's transactional. So, if you give, you take. That's sales. Transactional, whatever it is, the transaction that happens, that is purely sales. And sales is just one aspect of business development. For me, business development and many, at least what I have seen, small entrepreneurs, they don't have that nuance of building relationship. When you're developing business, the term itself says business development. It is not about business, but more about a holistic relationship development with whomsoever you interact with, whether that transaction happens, there is a positive transaction or there is no transaction at all. And each and every interaction when you're doing with probable customer or an end consumer, each of that helps you to develop a relationship. And for me, business development is more holistic, and it is all about developing relations. So that is for me. I feel that at least what I have seen, the small entrepreneurs, they keep it more transactional, where there should be more developing relations and having that with each and everyone who contacts you or you are contacting. So that is what I feel. Sometimes I've seen missing, and we try and teach that to our students as well. So we will try and do that.
Okay. So, but we आज के टाइम पे अगर हम देखें ना तो we see that business development is being compared to sales and marketing.
Mhm.
So how different it is?
सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग ये तो सिर्फ एक एस्पेक्ट है.
Okay.
सेल्स, मार्केटिंग, प्रमोशंस, एडवर्टाइजिंग, डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स ऑफ मार्केटिंग, डिफरेंट चैनल्स ऑफ मार्केटिंग, ये सारा बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट के एक एस्पेक्ट्स. ये सारी चीजें जब मिलके जब उसका रिजल्ट आता है, द आउटकम इज बिजनेस, डेवलपिंग बिजनेस, और आउटकम इज फॉर मी इज डेवलपिंग रिलेशनशिप्स.
Okay.
बिकॉज जब वो रिलेशनशिप एक बार जिसके साथ ट्रांजैक्शन हो गया, वो प्योरली सिर्फ ट्रांजैक्शन की बेस पे तुम्हारे पास वापस नहीं आएगा.
Right.
Business is about getting the references, repeat customers, getting that brand loyalty or loyalty from that particular customer. ये आपको सिर्फ प्रमोशन, मार्केटिंग एंड उस पर्टिकुलर सेल्स के ट्रांजैक्शन से नहीं मिलेगा. This is the result, the outcome is all of this, all of the small ones that you do. उसका outcome होता है एक proper developed relationship with all of the customers. जिसके साथ ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ, जिसके साथ सेल्स हुआ, वो भी, जिसके साथ नहीं हुआ, वो भी. So that is for me like पॉइंट आप कहना चाह रहे हैं, very essentially that is what it is.
Okay. So जो आज के जो स्टार्टअप्स है जिनके बारे में हम देखते हैं, so do you think वो लोग बिजनेस जो अपना रिलेशनशिप्स है और ये सारी चीजों पे ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे रहे?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. I think today's startup, the youngster, like at least जितने भी young a lot who are doing businesses, they're very smart, and they know all these aspects. Where they miss out, probably, I won't say they miss out. It is purely the economics of scale. When you're scaling a business, starting a business, getting clients, building relationships to a certain scale, today's entrepreneur has all the skills necessary to do that. And obviously with technology and different tools that are available, it's more so convenient and easy for the today's entrepreneur.
Right.
But where the issue starts is when the scale of business, when you're taking it to the next level, that is when I guess what you mean to say is the problem or small issues, even a reply to a customer or to a problem customer, you miss on that. And that happens, and that is part and parcel when you're scaling business on a very large scale. That happens. Scaling ka ye end product hota hi, and then you have to have strategies later to make sure that it doesn't keep on going to an extent where you're not able to control it. So that is part and parcel. Hota hai, that is okay.
Okay. तो जब हम रिलेशनशिप बिल्ड कर रहे हैं कभी भी बिजनेस में, तो कैसे करना चाहिए कि हम अच्छा एकदम बॉन्ड बना दें हमारे सप्लायर्स के साथ या हम जिसको बेच रहे हैं, तो वो रिलेशनशिप स्ट्रॉन्ग कैसे करें?
देखिए, जहां तक मैंने स्टार्ट किया था, अगर आप मेरा करियर देखोगे तो मैं तो बहुत एक छोटे से बीपीओ से स्टार्ट किया, मतलब मेरा करियर. एंड अगर उसमें जब हमने स्टार्ट किया था तो इट वाज ऑल अबाउट कि कुछ तो पैसा आ जाए. वो इट वाज प्योरली बेस्ड ऑन इंटरेस्ट. एंड वो तब जब हमने सेल्स सीखा या जब हमने बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट सीखा, तो हमारे लिए वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ इट वाज रिलेटेड टू how well you can communicate. So एक तो है कि communication, दूसरा how much information are you giving. Sometimes too much information is also not good in the process, because that leads to confusion, that leads to added pressure at the end of consumer to take a decision. जितना information required है उतना दीजिए. Yes, in that process information देते वक्त आपका communication जितना अच्छा कर सकते हैं, because that is the only thing. शुरुआत तो communication से ही होती है किसी भी business की और business development या sales की process की. Communication अच्छा होगा तो obvious सी बात है कि that will lead to whatever outcome that you want. और अगर नहीं भी होता है, not a problem. आपके एंड से आपने जो किया है, information देना, उनके questions के answer देना, हर एक query का solve करना, that will lead to some of the other reference, or at least your name or your brand going to a third person from that particular probable person who has come to your shop or wherever, to your business.
Okay. So, sir, you have been teaching business development in Vishwakarma University. अब 4-5 साल से अभी सिखाना चालू किया है आपने. तो आप बच्चों को क्या एडवाइस देते हो? 3 एडवाइस अगर आपको देनी होगी बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट के लिए, तो आप क्या कहना चाहोगे?
सबसे पहला तो मैं हर एक किसी को कहता हूँ कि सबसे पहले आपको प्रोडक्ट नॉलेज होना चाहिए.
Okay.
आप अगर if it's your own product, you should have know everything about it. If it's you're working somewhere, then again you should know right from the history of the inception of the company to the product, how it has been developed. So the product knowledge अच्छा है, क्योंकि product knowledge और उसके बैकग्राउंड से आपको सारी चीजें मिल जाती है, वो सारा इंफॉर्मेशन आपके पास होता है जो आप every customer who comes in with a different thought process, उसको टैकल करने के लिए आप वो नॉलेज यूज कर सकते हैं. So product knowledge is very essential. Second, अगर आप कहीं अगर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए या बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट का कहीं पे भी, मैं दूसरे लोगों को यही बोलूंगा कि एक आपका कम्युनिकेशन बहुत सब अच्छा रहना चाहिए. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपका लैंग्वेज, आपका वोकैबुलरी एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस, दैट इज नॉट व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट कम्युनिकेशन इन व्हाटएवर लैंग्वेज, इन व्हाटएवर वे, इन व्हाटएवर फॉर्म. रिटन है तो रिटन अच्छा होना चाहिए, स्पोकन है तो स्पोकन अच्छा होना चाहिए. In any which way, whatever form of communication that you use, you should be able to communicate with your probable customer. And third, at the end, making sure that it goes to the end. Okay. So that convincing skill, yeah, making sure that all of what you've done, okay, then like the process में हमने start किया, information दिया, and एंड तक लेके गए, एंड अगर क्रॉस नहीं हो रहा, लाइन क्रॉस नहीं हो रही, मेक्स नो सेंस. सो वो एंड क्रॉस करने के लिए थोड़ा सा आपके पास वो एक सेलिंग स्किल या कन्विंसिंग स्किल या जो भी एट दैट इंस्टेंस रिक्वायर्ड है, वो प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड, एंड दैट कम्स फ्रॉम ऑब्वियसली लर्निंग, एक्सपीरियंस, डिसिप्लिन, योर वर्क मेथोडोलॉजी, एंड आल्सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन कस्टमर. वो अगर उतना सा आ जाए, ये 3 चीज आ जाए, आप कोई भी चीज, whether it's concept, whether it's product, whether it's a service, whatever be it, you will be able to do good.
Okay. So जब हम अभी स्टूडेंट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट की इतनी बात की, एंड आप इतने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ रहते हो, उनके साथ इंटरैक्ट करते हो, so why are we seeing a shift in students कि उनको फॉरेन जाके पढ़ना?
ये more or less, ये हम maybe because we are in Pune, we see that.
Okay.
Firstly, obviously the numbers have grown, and more and more students now want to operate. So first is purely with respect to quality. Right. So almost if 100 students are going, 70 are looking for quality. And when they are looking for quality, that means they are able to pay. So the 60 to 70% students that go from India, they're able to pay for that kind of quality. So they have that financial backing, or so-called their parents who can afford that kind of education, and that's good for them. Remaining 30%, out of that, I feel some are under some peer pressure. There's peer pressure involved. There is also a fantasy of studying abroad. Okay. Student like maybe they might know someone and they would be like, we'll go here. But now you will see in next 5 years this pattern changing. The reason being, a lot of campuses now are opening up in India. So foreign campuses are now coming in India. Just last month, I guess, there were 5 campuses which were inaugurated by Education Minister in Navi Mumbai. So our Chief Minister did it. So all these universities, when they start coming to India, and if that kind of quality, that kind of professors, and that exposure, if you can get it here, you will see a trend. Maybe in next 5 years, you'll see that trend. That the number of students getting less, they would be enrolling more in foreign universities, campuses which are in India. So that, I guess, in next 5 years will happen.
So do you think इसका एक reason और एक हो सकता है, because I've done MBA, so I have a lot of knowledge about it. When we go to give CAT, टॉपिस्ट अगर टॉप कॉलेज में भी जाना है तो परसेंटाइल 95 के ऊपर चाहिए, IIMs का 99.5, बट अगर उसके नीचे IIM के नीचे भी कॉलेजेस में है तो 97 परसेंटाइल होना जरूरी है. बट इतने सारे लोग अपीयर करते हैं एंड सीट्स कम होती है. सो क्या ये एक रीजन भी हो सकता है फॉर देम गोइंग टू फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज? बिकॉज
यस, ये तो सीट का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, प्लस with the number of students applying for that and the number of seats available. ये जो disparity तो हमेशा से ही है. It is not today's. It has been there for last 10 years. That is also a reason, but that also helps. From my point of view, if you see that competition among students helps not only our Indian institutes get good students, but also the students who go abroad, they do well.
Right.
So if you see comparatively a normal graduate who studied in India for any affiliated college and a student who didn't do well in the exams but has gone out, you would see the outcome. The outcome, that student who has gone out has better chances, has better opportunities, and will be able to do well. And that we have seen study, like there are a lot of research as well. So that is also there. Not that I'm saying that the MBA, who's like a student who has done an MBA from a normal affiliated college, is not that at par. But obviously, one who has gone out, he is better because he is given those tests. Even if he has scored 90 percentile and was not able to get an admission, because he has scored 90 percentile, that means he has studied, he has that focus, and he has that knowledge. So that at the end, when it comes to becoming a graduate or postgraduate, he does well because he has done well in his entrance exam. So that also brings in good competition and good students. And so I think that's depends on what context you're looking at. But I feel that is okay. That should be there. That competition should be there.
But it is also said that in many places या फॉरेन में भी ऐसा बोलता है कि फॉरेनर्स को इंडिया में आके पढ़ना होता है, बिकॉज इंडिया हमको भी पता है कि एजुकेशन का हब है, पहले से है, बहुत पहले से अगर हिस्ट्री देखी जाए. एंड उसमें बोलते हैं कि इंडियन एजुकेशन में अगर आपको जाना है कोई भी कॉलेज में तो वो सिर्फ ग्रेट माइंड्स को लेता है, ऐसा बोला भी जाता है. तो उसकी वजह से भी हो सकता है कि ग्रेट माइंड्स बहुत ज्यादा जा रहे हैं बिकॉज दे आर ट्रेनिंग द स्पेशल पीपल आर गोइंग अहेड एंड बाकी लोग फॉरेन जा रहे हैं. ऐसे नहीं कि वो सक्सीड नहीं करते बट कर लेते हैं. बट इंडिया में दे pick the best ones in their colleges because they want the best ones.
इनमें बहुत बार like
अच्छा डिबेट हो सकता है.
This might be a bit controversial as well, but IIMs में तो students ही अच्छे जाते हैं. ऐसा like I'm not denying the fact that is the best educational institution, be it IIT or an IIM or NIT or IIIT. These institutions of excellence, they are institution of excellence because they get the best students.
Right.
I am Bangalore, I am IIT Madras, IIT Delhi, I am Mumbai as well. They do well because they get those kind of students. The same, so the level of student that they get, or the quality of student that they get, even because of an entrance, because the students are good, therefore, at the end of the day, the institution develops. That is an ecosystem that automatically develops.
Right.
Imagine a student who's got 55%, and then a professor who's teaching it in an affiliated college or a university somewhere, and he is molding a 55% student so that he is at least comes par and he makes him employed or her employed. वहां उस प्रोफेसर की और उस टीचर की मेहनत एंड वो इकोसिस्टम में वैसे स्टूडेंट को डेवलप करना ऑब्वियसली डिफिकल्ट. तो ये इकोसिस्टम जो IIT IIMs का एंड टॉप इंस्टीट्यूट्स का जो इकोसिस्टम है, इट इज ऑब्वियसली देयर इज सपोर्ट, गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट है, फंडिंग है, सारी चीजें तो है ही, बट दे हैव गुड स्टूडेंट्स, दे हैव द बेस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. सो वो अब इतने सालों से है तो वो एक इकोसिस्टम अपने आप में बना हुआ है. बाकी जगह अभी धीरे 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 यू विल फाइंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ NITs who are good, doing good, lot of IIITs who are doing good, lot of private universities who are doing good. Like in Pune, I take pride in saying my university is, they're doing very well. We are doing very well in terms of outcome. In terms of outcome. So the kind of education we provide, even though we are from a private university, we are doing very good. So that will happen. This ecosystem, to develop this ecosystem will take time and will take lot of nurturing and guidance. But that will happen.
Okay. So, sir, in today's time, what would you prefer? A guy who is street smart, not good at marks वगैरह, but street smart है बहुत, और एक लड़का जो बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स लाया है and IIM से पास आउट हुआ. So, आप किसको चूज करोगे?
मैं दोनों को लूंगा.
अच्छा, दोनों को.
रीजन भी अगर मेरी कंपनी में एक ही ओपनिंग है तो मैं चाहूंगा कि उस एक ओपनिंग के जितना खर्चा है, लाइक व्हाटएवर बी माय बजट फॉर ईयर, उस बजट में मैं दोनों को लेके आता.
ओके.
रीजन भी कि आज के बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में मुझे दोनों की जरूरत है. सिर्फ जस्ट बिकॉज समवन इज पास फ्रॉम एन एक्सीलेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन, विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट, आई लाइक वो अच्छा ही कर लेगा ऐसा जरूरी भी नहीं. स्ट्रीट सो अगर दोनों रहेंगे, I think दोनों डेवलप करेंगे. One was passed from an IIM and maybe it's not that to an extent, he has not got that kind of placement or whatever. And one who's street smart but has not studied that from an excellent college. दोनों को एक दूसरे की जरूरत है. ये हमको, क्योंकि ये मैंने कब सीखा, जब मैं किसी सीनियर के साथ काम कर रहा था. And when I started, because I'm still, I have a long way to go. मेरा एक्सपीरियंस उतना नहीं है, but जब मैं काम स्टार्ट किया था, so even when I used to study, you should always study, work with who's smarter than you. Right. You should do that. You should study with who's smarter than you. You should work with you should have people who are smarter than you in your team. Why? Because he will also get what he doesn't have. He doesn't have that street smartness or the thinking that you have, and you don't have the strategy that he has, or the capacity building, or that frame of mind that he comes from, the ecosystem he comes from. You don't have that. So both of you will develop each other, and therefore, not for my business's sake, but at least for their both sake, I would want them to join. And like HRs agar aisa kare, so it is helpful for that company itself. So I would want both of them.
Okay. So, sir, moving forward, आपने edtech के बारे में भी काम किया है, देखा है उस इंडस्ट्री में. So, when we talk about edtech, पैंडेमिक के टाइम में बहुत ज्यादा बूम आया था edtech का, एंड सडनली वो डाउन गया. एंड बायजूस हमने देखा है वो कितना डाउन चला गया. उन्होंने इतना मार्केटिंग किया, सब लोग बायजूस करते थे, सब कुछ करते थे. तो क्या हुआ edtech इंडस्ट्री में?
ये डिमांड और सप्लाई का इशू है.
ओके.
एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम, कोविड के टाइम, it was purely, there's no other option.
Right.
And also, we were not ready. We, as in, when I say this, I mean to say the parents. Parents, the students, the whole society was not ready for something like that. And at that point in time, that was the only option. And that the uncertainty that we were living in, that uncertainty led to the boom of edtech. Now, today you see, एडटेक आप जो कह रहे हो कि ये नीचे हो गया, वो नीचे हो गया, अब कौन सस्टेन करता है, कौन नीचे गया, दैट इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. ये क्योंकि बिजनेस है, ऊपर नीचे होगा ही. कौन सस्टेन करता है? जिसने करंट सिस्टम में आप कैसे करंट एजुकेशन सिस्टम को सपोर्ट कर रहे हो. एडटेक, ये जितने सिस्टम्स बने थे, दे वर ट्राइंग टू रिप्लेस, कि सारी चीजें ही ऑनलाइन हो जाए, क्लासरूम को ही रिप्लेस कर ले. अब कौन हु सस्टेनिंग टुडे, जो क्लासरूम को कैसे ऑगमेंट करे. And EdTech today, or most of the platforms that today are, or who will do well, I have a feeling who can augment classroom learning and not want to replace classroom learning. At that point in time, because students were not able to come to classroom, they had to take up the other option. But any individual, we are here for two things. I feel one is service, the other is experience.
Right.
Education, or for that matter, anything, when you learn something, it's an experience. A digital camera or a screen cannot replace that.
Right.
And it cannot. And it is in the numbers that you see. It's not that just because I believe it, I'm seeing it. It is in the numbers. You have to augment, you have to support how you can make it better. If you can make the experience better, you will do well. But that experience cannot be replaced. That will be there. So I have a feeling that's the reason why they have gone down. Whoever shifted are doing well. I feel they are doing okay.
So EdTech, we can say, will always be a support tool to classrooms. Can we say that? Or it has the potential to replace the classrooms?
I see. My personal suggestion is I don't think so. Okay. And it shouldn't be also. Actually, that's my personal opinion. The reason being, as I said, the experience of anyone, not a teacher, but anyone telling something and you experiencing that learning in that environment. Because that environment also gives you context. Right. That environment gives you a level. Right? That environment gives you you have a perception. Right? ये सारी चीजें एक स्क्रीन नहीं दे सकता.
Right.
Even though the medium is very good. And कुछ लेवल पे दे भी सकता है. But जो वो context, जो वो environment आपको क्लासरूम लर्निंग के थ्रू मिलेगा, वो लर्निंग एक मेमोरी बनेगी. मेमोरी ही ये चार ही तो कंपोनेंट्स है जो मेरे एक्सपीरियंस को ऑगमेंट करेंगे, जो मेरे एक्सपीरियंस का आउटकम्स अच्छा करेंगे. सो आई नीड दैट. एवरी इंडिविजुअल नीड्स इट. सो आई वुड वांट ऑल द प्लेटफॉर्म्स टू ऑगमेंट. इसको कितना बेटर कर सकते हैं आप. मेरी मेमोरी, आप मेरी लर्निंग, आप मेरी पर्सपेक्टिव, आप मेरे एक्सपीरियंस को कितना ऑगमेंट कर सकते हैं, वो कर दो. यू विल डू दैट.
चलिए, एक्सपीरियंस और एजुकेशन की बात हो गई. इसमें मैं और एक चीज ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि व्हेन यू गो टू अ क्लासरूम, सब लोग बोलते हैं कि डिस्टेंस लर्निंग करना है, ऑफलाइन नहीं करना, ऑनलाइन करना है. बट इसकी वजह से आप एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो लूज करते हो, दैट्स नेटवर्किंग अराउंड यू. बिकॉज अगर हम एक क्लासरूम में, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप और मैं एक क्लासरूम में हो, कभी आफ्टर अ सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ लाइफ 5 years 10 years अगर मेरे को जरूरत पड़े, हम सेम बैचमेट में बैठते हैं एंड वो रिलेशन तब काम में आते हैं, जो कि अगर आप ऑनलाइन करोगे तो आपके पास कोई भी नहीं. करेक्ट. एंड अगर आप बिजनेस करने चाह रहे हो, जॉब करने चाह रहे हो, कुछ भी करने जा रहे हो, ये रिलेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है.
बहुतों का देखिए, डिस्टेंस लर्निंग या ऑनलाइन लर्निंग, इट इज अ पर्सपेक्टिव एंड इट इज अ नीड विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू आपकी सिचुएशन क्या है. It is purely a need for the situation.
Right.
And let's say if I have a situation, and then these are two kinds of situation. एक तो आपकी economic situation, second आपका घर का situation कैसा है. Because if your economic situation is not good and घर का situation is not supportive, you have to work, but you also have to learn. And that's obviously you are in such a situation that distance learning, online learning makes good sense, and it is equivalent now. UGC has made it all forms of education, whether you do it online or regular or distance, all are equivalent.
Right.
So when all are equivalent, purely based on situation, you take a choice. Networking, yes, that does matter.
Yeah.
And especially if you are in a line where, let's say your businesses provide either a service or a product or something to other businesses, then that networks do help. I mean, networking is must. Many students would feel that I used to not talk to that student. Right. I have to, but you will have to, because वो कब काम में आएगा ये मैंने.
Okay. So जैसे भी इंडस्ट्रीज बढ़ रही है एंड चैट जीपीटी आ रहा है, हाइब्रिड लर्निंग आ चुकी है, so what do you think the future of these tools are going to be?
The future is brilliant for one who knows how to use it. So it's the future with all these platforms, especially generative AI. Generative AI ka use case to is unlimited now.
Right.
You just need to know how to use it. So first, it will make your learning convenience. It will save your time. But what after that? The question is not whether it will help or not. It will help.
Right.
Will it make it convenience? Will it add convenience? Yes, it will add. Will it make it easier? Yes, it will be easier for you to understand a lot of different perspectives at one instance. But what are you doing by saving time? What are you doing by saving those efforts? When you didn't go to a library and you did research through Gen AI. Good, well and good. Did it use Gen AI? Well and good. But what did you do by saving time? That is where the future will be of an individual. I know I use Gen AI for teaching as well. I use it for reference purposes as well. Why? Because there are a lot of times now I know my students are using it. So I cannot stop it and I don't want to. It's making their life easier. It's enhancing their learning. So definitely good. But once you have saved time, it has added convenience, what are you doing with that convenience? What are you doing with that time? What are you doing with that ease? If everything is easy, if all of it is easy, what have you done something or have you entered something? Are you foraying into something where there'll be a different situation where you have to take decisions and not based on what comes on AI, but based on your perspective and your experience or whatever decision making process that you have. So in that instance, what you do and what you're doing by saying all this, that is more important. Gen AI, no one's going to stop. It is only going to grow bigger. The platforms, they're only going to get diverse and diverse. Now Gen AI is now more into going into niche AI. Right. They are AIs for very niche purposes as well. So not just generating what was that Ghibli images. Not for that, but it will go to very niche, and so the product development or there'll be platforms who will go very niche. In agriculture, it is being used in a brilliant way. What to do, what not to do. If this is this crop, what is to be done. There are a lot of use cases, but a farmer who has saved time by not going to university, getting a professor, or getting an agriculture specialist, he has saved time. If he is, what is he doing? What is a student doing? What is an individual doing? By this ease that has come in their life. So that will be important. Using AI is not the problem. What you do when you're not using it or with what you've saved, what you do with that is more important.
Okay. So, one last question. What advice would you like to give to your students as well as the speakers, as well as the listeners who are listening a podcast?
With respect to?
Any advice?
Any advice?
Just like you have so much of experience, you interact with so many people. So if any advice that you would like
for students, I would say use GPT, use AI. But then once you're saving, same thing. Once you're saving time, what are you doing out of it? Okay. So think over that, get a perspective. And then I always tell my students two things. You're here to do service and you're here to do experience. So what kind of experience are you getting? And what kind of services are you doing? Service essentially not only means helping others, but any kind of service. So service and experience, work on that. To all your listeners, I would say if you find anything relevant out of this small conversation that we've had, you can definitely connect with Manav or you can write to me.
Right.
And I'll be more than helpful to answer any of your questions. Yes. So I guess that is what I would rather say to all the viewers and listeners.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. It was great talking to you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.